You take that thought and you go out over your shoulder, never to be seen by human eyes again. There is no place for that. Super, super. Toes in, toes in. Right. It doesn't help to turn your toes out, okay? It only looks green. All right? Okay, so what happened right there? I saw his head go back and forth. What happened? You lost what? Then why did his head go back and forth left and right then? Circle 20 meters. How come his head went back and forth? I know, but you said you lost his energy from behind. How is going with his head back and forth going to make him more energetic from the back end? Yeah, okay, but the problem is that's because he's not then listening to a half halt in that moment. Instead, listen to this. When you stop for a sec. When you were going the other way, you did these beautiful things. You did passage, extended trot, passage, trot, extend, passage, and it was gorgeous. And there was no thought until after he did this half pass and went straight, and then his head went like this. And then I said, what happened there? And you said, you lost your engagement, energy from behind. And then I said, but then why did his head go back and forth? And you said, because he wasn't supple. And I said, what does that have to do with the fact that you said you lost your engagement from behind? And you said, well, if I don't keep him supple, he'll invert. So now you listen to me about that. If he said to himself, every time you go straight, she goes like this on my mouth, and my head goes like this, okay? Then he says, I don't love that much. It sort of aggravates me. My hind legs are still back here. So my hind legs are here, but she's going like this back and forth, like one of those dogs in the back windows of some people's cars. You've seen those before, and they go like that. The problem is that when he's going like that, he's not thinking about his hind legs. He's only thinking Marlene's right hand, left hand, right hand, left hand, right hand, left hand. And then he's like this. And then his hind legs are still here. So at the end of all that you did all that, his hind legs weren't any more engaged. They're still back here. Whereas before, you were going around this way. I never saw his head go back and forth one time. You were beautiful. It was gorgeous. You said massage, and he did this behind, and then he looked light and gorgeous in front. You said extend, he went like this. You said come back, he said like this. There was no thought of you doing that all, and then until right there. So I say to you, that whole thing right there, when you say he's going to invert, when you start saying that, guess what's going to happen? You create exactly what you believe. Before, I had your mind only on your rubber band. Extend, passage, and then I said, now you do it. I made you do it the first time, then I said, now you do it, show me gorgeousness, and you did it. And then I said, now do these lateral things, and all of a sudden this other thought came in your mind. That was just in your head. If you had just come right there and made him passage 3 steps, he would have engaged, gotten light, and you would have gone straight on, no thoughts. Okay? So, listen to what I'm about to say. You know this thing of going like that? You take that thought and you go out over your shoulder, never to be seen by human eyes again. There is no place for that. Okay? That's not to say that if a horse pulls on the left rein a lot and gets what they call like stuck on it, then you could go, you're too strong on this rein, I'm going to push you to a shoulder in. Oh, you've lightened, thank you, and I'll just give. Now extend, now passage, now extend up, you understand? It's not, or the opposite. If he's hanging on the right rein, you can push him off the right leg and right rein. Okay, now give. But that's not seesawing back and forth or turning his head like that. Because you know what this produces? It's called a rhythmic evasion. When you go like this, you get stronger here. When you go back like this, you get stronger here. When you go back like this, you get stronger here. And you think, I'm suppling him both ways. It doesn't have anything to do with hind legs. It takes you further and further away from the truth. anything that is not a half halt takes you further and further into what's called a chatter. Chattering, back and forth, and then he thinks, well, this is part of my training. I go like this, and then no, it has nothing to do with my hind legs. You understand? So, tossed out, never to be seen again. We half halt, we bend his hocks, he lightens, good boy. And that word, inversion, there is no such thing. There's only he's evading the bridle, I collect, I ride him beautiful, and now I start again. He goes like this, that's the problem, I ride a half halt. If he's like this, I stop, start again.